When city lights sparkle like a mini galaxy, have you ever asked yourself, am I truly happy, or just constantly busy? If your heart sank just a little, hearing that question, this story is for you. Emma Collins, 32 years old. A marketing executive in Manhattan, she had it all: six-figure income, a skyline apartment overlooking Central Park, and a calendar booked to the brim. Yet, every morning, the alarm clock felt like a warning siren. One late night, after an emergency meeting that stretched past 11 p.m., Emma stumbled into her apartment, dropped her bag, and broke into tears. She opened an old keepsake box, buried in dust inside, a weathered notebook from her father. On the front page, his fading handwriting read, "If you long for peace, try giving it first." That night, Emma didn't fall asleep. But for the first time in months, she woke up. The next morning, she requested time off. She turned off her phone, shut down email, and boarded a northbound train to Seabrook, Maine, a quiet fishing village she once visited at 12. Phones kept vibrating, but Emma switched hers to airplane mode. She let the ocean waves deliver the only notifications. On day one, she sat silently at the harbor. Mr. Walter, an old fisherman with sun-weathered skin, handed her a cup of warm peppermint tea. No sugar. Let it bite a little, he smiled. It tasted bitter but gentle. And just like that, Emma's breath began to slow. Emma didn't plan to meet anyone. She had come to Seabrook to be alone. But somehow, the town had its own quiet rhythm that gently nudged her into crossing paths with people who had something to teach her. That morning, she woke up earlier than usual, stirred by the soft drizzle outside and an odd creaking sound near the square. At 5:30 a.m., Emma heard a squeaky cart and saw Mrs. Iris, 67, pushing a wooden trolley full of sunflowers and baby's breath. It was drizzling. Her dress was damp, yet her eyes held skies of blue. Every morning, she told Emma, I carry a whole garden of sunshine. When people hold flowers, their faces light up, and that light reflects back into me. Emma helped tie ribbons. She watched Mrs. Iris hand a final bouquet to a young Navy officer returning from sea. Before he left, Iris leaned in and whispered, happiness doesn't need refrigeration. It stays fresh when it's shared. And in that moment, Emma suddenly understood. Joy multiplies faster than money and lasts longer than any KP. That afternoon, Emma noticed Noah, an 8-year-old boy sitting at the wooden dock. He had lost 2 fingers on his right hand in a saw accident, but there he was gripping a crayon with effort, drawing a big sun pushing through storm clouds. His strokes were messy, his colors too bright, but it was stunning. Emma gently asked, don't you get tired of drawing the same sun every day? Noah beamed with a gap-toothed grin. I used to be scared of the dark, so I draw the sun to remind myself, after every night, the sun always rises. That means every day, we get another chance. He handed her a blank page and said, your turn. Her hand trembled a bit. It had been years, but her first stroke felt like permission to breathe again. And from that quiet exchange, Emma realized something deeply simple. Second chances don't come from inboxes, they come from how you choose to see the day ahead. That evening, the harbor celebrated its annual Lantern Festival. Captain Liam O'Donnell, 58, shared a story from the hurricane of 1995. He and his crew were chasing what could have been the golden catch of the season, but a nearby boat capsized in the storm. He gave the order to turn back to rescue them, sacrificing over 70% of that year's income. People asked if I regretted it. He said, I told them, I've slept peacefully ever since, and 30 years of peaceful sleep, that's profit enough for me. And as those words sank in, Emma grasped a timeless truth. When you put people before profit, you earn something no market can measure: peace. On her third day, a nor'easter hit the coast. Everyone scrambled to prepare ropes, sandbags, wooden planks. Emma joined them. For the first time in a long time, she was working with her hands, not just her mind. No clients, no deadlines, just people, rain and heartbeats. The next morning, the storm passed. The sky was painted gold. The whole village stood barefoot on the wet sand, laughing. Emma stood at the railing, and tears fell. But they weren't tears of exhaustion this time. They were tears of gratitude. Emma returned to Manhattan. The alarm still rang at 6 a.m. but this time, it didn't feel like a threat. She brewed peppermint tea, bought sunflowers for the building janitor, and every night she wrote down 3 things she was grateful for, a habit she picked up from Noah. She still led her marketing team, but instead of selling products, she started telling stories that connected people. At the end of the year, she was offered a promotion. Emma smiled and asked instead to reduce her hours so she could teach free art classes for children with cancer twice a week. Her boss blinked. Her team was surprised, but Emma just said, "I didn't change careers. I just changed how I define profit." A message for you. You may not be able to board a train to Maine tomorrow, but you can do these 3 things today. Pause for 30 seconds. Breathe. Ask yourself, what am I truly longing for? Share a smile with the barista, a stranger, in the elevator, anyone. Write down 3 things you're thankful for, even if it's just warm socks or your pet snoring nearby. True happiness isn't about a life with no storms. It's about a heart that's willing to hold the umbrella for someone else. When we give away what we're missing, love, peace, time, the emptiness inside us fills first. If this story touched your heart, even just a little, share it with someone who may need it. And if you want more stories that reconnect you with what matters, subscribe to Motivation Hub Rise. Because no matter where you are in the rush of the city or a quiet village, you deserve to wake up with peace and fall asleep with gratitude. Live gently. Give freely. Smile today. Thank you for listening.